This episode of the Blunders and Flagons podcast contains combat, and as such, may have descriptions of peril, injury, and death. A parental preview is recommended for our younger audiences. Thank you again for listening. And now, the latest Blunders and Flagons audio drama theatre presentation, The Shire Spelling Bee Disaster. Welcome, dear gentle hobbits, to the annual Shire Spelling Bee. 3 competitors remain: Barty, Barry, and Banjo. Who among them will prove to have the keenest wit and the sharpest tongue? Let's begin. First up, Barty. Your word is flockinosinnihilipilification.
What?
Flockinosinnihilipilification. It means the act of regarding something as worthless.
Right, like this entire bloomin' contest?
Indeed. Please spell.
It's F-L-O-C, P, no, wait, no P. Can I start over?
Nope, that is incorrect. Sit down.
Oh, what a fool.
Barry, your word is pneumonotramicroscopic pilificanvolcanosis.
I beg your pardon.
It's a lung disease caused by inhaling fine silica particles.
Oh, fine silica particles. I feel like I have that lung disease right now.
Yes, please spell.
Alright, P N E U M? Or is it silent? Wait, which M is silent?
Incorrect. Sit down.
Oh.
You two are pathetic. Watch how a real spelling bee champion works. Come on, give him.
All right. Banjo, your word for the championship is arg.
Excuse me?
The word is arg. You know, like the sound a hobbit makes when he stubs his toe.
Well, A. How many A's? Is there an H in the middle, or is it just vibes?
You have 5 seconds, please.
A-R-G... No, God, that's too short.
I'm sorry. That is incorrect. The correct spelling is arg, with 9 A's, 3 R's, 2 H's, and a G.
How was I supposed to know that?
And so, the Shire Spelling Bee concludes with no winner once again. Thank you for coming. A free ale in the back.
Oh, why didn't you say so
sooner?
Go on with your have a drink.
Yay. Oh, you spelling bee, man.
Anyways, the word is pneumonotramicroscopic silivolcanosis.
No, it's not. That's not a real
It's
word.
close. It's
That's
close.
not.
It's fine, I'll get it later. We'll add it in post. We did not, in fact, add it in post. You might be asking yourself, You went to the trouble to record this addendum after you'd done the whole podcast. David, why didn't you just fix it? Well, the answer to that is simple. I simply couldn't say Numen Ultra Microscopicilla Volcanosis. Just couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Are we ready?
Spaghetti.
Yep.
All right. Welcome to Blunders and Flagons, the podcast where claustrophobic hobbits, or at least one, meets a cave in the world of Middle-earth. I'm Daniel, and I'm thrilled to have you join us on this epic journey filled with laughter, questionable decisions, and a fair share of hobbit-sized antics. With me is a cast of my brothers and compatriots as we journey through the world of the Shire. I myself play and have the pleasure of bringing to life the wonderful and perhaps too smart for his own good Barry Bramblefoot, who has taken a bit of a fatherly role, or at least somewhat of a advisor type role in the party. And I don't particularly have a interesting fact for this time, but hopefully we'll have one next time. I'll go ahead and pass it over to the youngest of our party, my brother Drew.
Yo, what up, y'all? Me, I'm Drew. I'm here, having a good time, rip rolling, having a great, hobbit-sized antic of a time. Definitely stoked to be playing Banjo Groman, the overalled of all the hobbits. He's got overalls. Really just trying to have a great time. Right now, very scared. Very, very scared. If you know what's happening. Super, super spooked and stoked. But yeah, if you didn't catch it, I think, because I didn't have a fun fact prepared. As my fun fact, I'm just going to reiterate. Banjo, as a child, had some very traumatic experiences with small spaces.
Forgot about that.
And especially not being able to move in small spaces. This also had issues when he was learning how to set traps in people's houses and stuff. In people's pantries and such, where there's very tight areas underneath cupboards. His brothers would tell him, hey, you got to put this rat trap at the very back of, under this cupboard, and, he'd be crawling, and it was very hard for him to do that aspect of his pest control, so to speak. But yeah, definitely not a fan of the inside of small spaces. But with that super duper uber fun fact, I'm pushing and pulling it over to Jari, the most Jari of the bunch.
Jerry. That's me. I am indeed the Jerriest of the group, and it's not because of my German ancestry, or because I like gas cans, because I don't. Anyways, yes, my name, Jerry. I play Barty Took, who is, well, everyone says people play their opposites, but I really relate to this character. He is trouble and troubled and annoying, and I aspire to be all three. Not troubled, but anyways. Yes, I didn't really prepare a fun fact. Barty has always been on the search for a LARPing group, and he's been kicked out of 2, which was only one other person each time, and it was the same person each time. And it wasn't even a LARPing group, it was an ale drinking group.
Oh.
Yes.
Why'd they kick Barty out?
I'm going to pass the phone to the best lore master in the world, David.
Oh my gosh.
Here, here.
It's not going to work. You're still going to die.
Oof.
Is that the fun fact for the day?
That is the fun fact. My name is David. I'm the lore master, and I'm in charge of these people here. And we are playing Lord of the Rings role-playing game. It is a role-playing game set in Middle-earth, and if that's the first time you're hearing that, you really need to jump back to episode 1.
because there's some things that have gone on. However, if you were fast forwarding and trying to find the first episode with combat in it, you have found the right episode because
no.
it has waited until now. The very first thing we're gonna do.
I'm in
Roll for initiative.
I'm in danger.
But before we get to that,
Oh my gosh.
the secret fact of the day is that Mr. and Mrs. Boffin
The Crocs.
were childhood sweethearts, and they grew up together, and came to have a passionate love affair after they got married. This is all.
Jeez Louise. You really just
Childhood sweethearts and had a passionate love affair. Wait, what?
No, they had a childhood dream of running a business together, and now, they don't run the tavern, but they do have this pretty nice little side gig that works out pretty well for them, and it got completely swept off its feet when half of their mushrooms got stolen. So now their lifelong aspirations are just crashing to the ground and burning down all around them. So
they'll survive.
I've got
they will be.
Are we apologetic enough, David?
When someone stole half my mushroom crop, I didn't say nothing about it.
Well,
So we back in the mines.
with all those facts out of the way, let's dive back into the mines where the children long to be, and we will once again rejoin our adventure here in Middle-earth. When we last left off,
Ethereal music.
yes, that is what I have been doing. When we last left off, the bumbling bees have followed another bee, Balin, down into the quarry, seeking any sort of jewels or lost treasure that is to be found in this active rock quarry. But finding basically the deepest tunnels and parts of this area, you have come to a slightly more open space that feels heavier. The darkness kind of weighs in on you, and it seems to encroach on the torches that you bear. And Balin, holding a torch aloft in front of the group, is calling out, "Aye there, laddie, who is that there?" And so he, in front of you, calls out, and you see this lanky, pallid-skinned creature holding and leaning heavily on a wicked-looking spear with a head larger than his arm that seems to stretch out and almost reach towards you at the end of this long staff. And he's garbed in this tattered and tarnished, inferior-looking armor that is wicked and bolted together like it was some sort of ramshackle device. And he's peering around a pile of rubbish. This whole scene is very strange to each of you. And so I will have you roll
You're screaming.
now. Well, you are all going to be fighting off 2 shadow points. This is perhaps the most disturbing image you have seen in your life as a hobbit. This creature before you that you don't recognize, with these sharp teeth and this strangly beard and wispy hair, leaning on this wicked-looking implement of war. It's something that is terrifying to you.
Was it too much to hope for a wolf?
So I'm going to have you roll a Constitution saving throw to fight off the 2 points.
Good, dude, okay. May I just say it? We finally got to a roll that I could actually, might succeed this roll, you guys. Just
Barty's dead, you guys.
He dies just by looking at this thing.
We're all in danger.
Is it 15 plus 2?
Yeah. No.
You roll a d20 plus 2.
That's what I'm saying.
+2. Why do you get +2?
He and I both
From
have plus 2 to our con.
Constitution, 15.
Oh,
And I rolled a 1.
must be nice. Hey, look at that.
Do you not have any modifier?
Nope.
Dude, why do I
I'm
always
flat 10
roll
con.
freaking
So
Wait, no. I didn't.
No, you didn't. You haven't.
didn't dump
What?
it.
You haven't rolled yet.
so
Drew.
above 15, you would save against both points.
Nice.
Above 10, you save against one.
And a crit
Oh.
fail, he just keels over.
So
and dies.
15. Okay, so
Do you need
the
two?
only person taking points would be Barty. Barty, you do get both shadow points.
So is that a shadow score of 5 now?
Yes.
Shoot!
We
So now
didn't
I roll a disadvantage, right?
remediate. Dude, we got to go visit the elves or something.
Help me!
I got to go to Arkham Asylum over at
Can I sing a song and I'll be all right?
So I will have you go ahead and roll your initiative roll because we are now in combat. You are seeing this terrifying creature in front of you and preparing to do battle.
Okay, Drew. You force fed that one, Drew.
Turns into Doom. Start ripping ripping him in half.
I got
Aaron
it.
roll cannot roll a 0-sided die. That's so stupid.
I'm stupid. All right.
Oh man. Oh crud! It erased all of my weapons, bro. What?
No.
You don't have any weapons.
I do. I have.
You have a
the
sling.
Sling.
Wow, dude. All of your weapons.
Oh, careful there, Banjo. You might bring down the cave with that
You might
giant
shoot
weapon
your eye
of war.
out with it.
Sorry, I'm trying to review the rules on Shadow here.
Probably there's
Your
nothing
boy
to do in the cave,
DED.
Dead. D-E-D. Dead.
Can I just roll again? Would that be cool?
No, I think it's okay.
Can I have it get a do-over, please?
Dog.
I get to roll at advantage because people love me.
Uh-huh.
You get to roll it.
My wooden
twice.
bow gives me advantage.
Oh, wow.
Every time you roll under a 10, you flip the number upside down.
By the way, for those of you who didn't know, the bowl on his head is the whole reason they started calling hats that look like that bowler hats.
He's responsible,
But they don't
huh?
call hats that look like bowler hats.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I thought
round.
they look like bowling balls. That's why they're called
you look
bowler
like
hats.
bowling balls.
No,
I mean, we could find this out. Let's just ask the internet.
Well, the internet doesn't know Barty took.
Who are you? I know bowler hats are written because they're bowlers. People.
It's because it was designed by hat makers Thomas and William Bowler. Bam.
That's stupid.
I know, that's a
They
lame.
didn't exist. Yeah, the wooden bowl hat theory sticks.
And-
Also, Daniel, your camera keeps going crazy black.
Sorry.
Maybe it's my shadow score.
Yeah, it's the shadow thing. I don't know why. I have light. Alexa.
So
Shapes and
if
the-
you're for shadow points, Jerry,
That was it.
if your shadow score matches or exceeds half of your wisdom score rounded up, you become miserable.
Oh, it doesn't yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So nobody has a shadow score half of their wisdom yet?
So
Okay,
half
good.
rounded up. So mine would be 7.
That is when the first
that's not
effect happens.
I'm
Okay, so I'm
3
still all right for
points
now.
Away
Okay.
because I'm dumb.
I'm 2. I'm 2 away.
I only have 2 shadow points. Does that sound right?
Yeah. We all
Guys,
have
I
two.
gotta get smarter real quick.
Half of your wisdom score?
Correct.
Plus, yeah, rounded up.
Oh, I've got a ways to go yet.
Yeah, and that's not even, it's not super duper bad. It just reduces your fellowship rating, which we haven't really talked about what fellowship rating does.
I don't have a fellowship rating.
Well, that kind of unlocks when you have a patron.
Which we
Oh.
do technically
So-
kind of sort of now.
Whoops. Not
You
really.
well, you don't officially have a patron.
we didn't
you-
take him up on his.
Let's
Yeah.
think about it, and then we skip town.
I think Bilbo would be a better patron anyways.
We want Bilbo as our patron. Bilbo better patron.
The only other effects for a miserable character is that a 1 and a 2 are both failures.
Yeah, that's bad.
So it just increases your failure box, your critical fail.
Very epic. Very epic.
Okay, anyway.
Like it. Gotta have
Very
it.
demure. Very mindful.
Okay, so I will have. Here's what I'll do. I'll have you guys go, and then the creature, since you've kind of come upon it, it's probably reeling a little bit in the torchlight.
Yeah.
And so we will have you guys go first. Oh, I don't even have Ballin ready. Hang on, let me see.
Oh no! I'll roll for Ballin.
That's okay. He'll go first because he's the furthest forward.
Guys, Ballin is gonna save us. He's like the overpowered NPC that's gonna
Marshall
kill this
He's,
thing in one
he's gonna
single
have
strike.
to save us because none of us can take this thing on.
We're hobbits, man. I roll an axe that's bigger. I swing an axe that's bigger than me. I've
Is
never
that
used
the
it for
Witch
anything.
King? What? What are you doing down here?
I am no man. I'm a hobbit.
I'm not a dude. I'm a guy. Lops his head off. I'm not your buddy pal.
I'm not your pal, buddy, and I'm not your buddy.
Uh-oh. Yay.
So Ballin
For the-
in his confusion, he kind of is trying to figure out what to do. He like tries to stick the torch in his elbow to hold it, and he like burns himself and drops it onto the floor. It's still burning, but it's casting this very strange flickering light now. And he kind of spends his turn. He immediately stoops to grab it. He was clearly not expecting to see something down here. And so he almost burns his hand, and he drops his axe while he's trying to pull it out as well.
Great. All dead.
He is still standing in front of you, and it looks like the creature is almost as disturbed, startled as Ballin was. But he was certainly startled when he came upon this creature. It looks like Drew was next.
I think in this stupa, in this strange event that's happened, I'm obviously going to go to my natural instincts, which is fight or flight, mainly flight. But I've got to stave that slightly, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, with one hand, reach for my sling, and with the other hand, grab a handful of my largest stones.
Whoa.
That are, yeah, that's what I said. My largest stones, which always rest at the very bottom of my sack. And I'm going to grab them all out, and I'm going to put one seated in the saddle of my sling, and with a flick of my wrist, send it whirling around. Jerry, please, bro.
Come on, man.
Trying to describe.
Pull yourself together.
Please, dude. You don't even laugh that hard when I make actual jokes. And with a jostle of one arm, the sling starts flinging, and I will send a stone a-sailing.
You could have phrased that differently, Banjo.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
So I rolled a 15 base. I don't really know what to use to add to this to hit. Is it
Strength?
I think it would be Dex, would it not? Wink.
So your attack would be your proficiency bonus, which would be 2 for this level.
Perfect. So it's a 17 total.
Okay, so that is just above what you need. So you do manage to connect with the stone, and go ahead and roll your damage for that.
It's going to be a 2.
Plus your dex. Your dex mod.
Again,
So 6.
Can someone explain so that I can do that? 6.
Okay. So your
Why is it
dex
6?
mod is 4?
No. My dexterity is 18.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's your modifier?
Yeah, so that would be a modifier of 4. Perfect.
That's my modifier, too.
Dexterity.
I'm doing the math right. I'm not doing the math right.
I may have those switched. You may be supposed to add your dex to the attack and your proficiency bonus to the hit.
I would assume that because I would like the dexterity for the connect. Rather
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So we'll say you definitely hit.
He does 4 damage.
and it does a good 4 damage. So you manage to hit the hand that is holding his spear, and he kind of lets out, and he cringes for a second, and then he lowers this massive spear and begins heading towards you.
Oh, heck no.
I'm just glad he didn't crit fail, because that'd have been the back of my head he connected with.
Could be. Next up is Barty with Barry on deck.
Yeah.
So Barty gets this chill, and in the same boat as Banjo, fight or flight. He wants to turn tail and run, but this chill just creeps through him, and he just kind of just wakes up all of a sudden. You know how if you've been dozing, anyways, he kind of just shakes himself awake. He's like, ah, and just wildly swings his axe in the direction of the thing.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack. You would be moving forward in order to do this, but you connect quite well. You definitely land with your axe. Go ahead and roll damage.
A fine hit.
4.
Okay, great. So you are able to smack this creature.
It doesn't cut. It just smacks him
Around the butt.
No, it does seem to pierce into a exposed shoulder of this creature, and he is, as he's charging forward, you charge towards him, and kind of avoiding this end of this wicked-looking spear, you catch the edge of his shoulder, and he winces and grabs it before leveling the spear again. All right, Barry.
I am going to use my my Rhymes of Lore ability
Okay.
as a I forget what my profession was, scholar. And I'm going to give is it Ballin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Ballin a lore dice. I think it's a D6.
Okay.
I don't. And he can add it to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay, perfect.
So that's my bonus action. For my full action, I would like to try to decipher the mystery or riddle of what this thing is. Because if we understand what it is, we might be able to fight it better. Or bargain with it or something.
So go ahead, and I'll say that this, it's not something you would have encountered before necessarily. So it's probably something you will have had to read. So go ahead and use intelligence, make an intelligence check.
Okay.
An old lore.
Old lore? Okay.
Old lore check.
Nice. Ooh. I happen to be pretty good at that.
This would have to be something that you heard about or read, or had been described to you as to what this might be.
Something old Master Orwin used to tell tales of down at the Bard in the Bay.
Could be.
Mining coal. And this big thing looked like Godzilla.
24.
Jeez.
The dice gods are in our favor
Barry
tonight.
starts floating off the ground.
So
I see.
Knowledge of the universe.
So as soon as you saw this creature, you knew in your heart what it was. You have heard of this since you were just a wee hobbit. It was whispered in your ear as a cautionary tale. Don't go into the forest. Don't go into the deep places of the earth. Don't go into the dark lands where creatures dwell. The orcs of Mordor and those who serve the Dark Lord. These
whispers that you will have heard and never really thought truly existed as an actual creature up until the point you saw it and recognized that all of these ghost stories about the Hobbit boogeyman, the orcs, are true. This is for sure an orc standing in front of you, something that you were sure never existed, but seeing it embodied in front of you, it both terrifies and in some ways comforts you to know that this isn't just some ghost. This is a flesh and blood creature that is wicked and somehow has been surviving down here, perhaps creeping up to the surface, snatching what wild creatures it could, and living off of them down here in the dark as it can.
All right.
All together.
So effectively, Barry will kind of do a double take as he realizes exactly what this creature is, and he will call out to Barty and Banjo. Be careful, lads. That's an orc. I can't believe I never thought I'd seen one, but I'm sure of it. That's an orc. I don't know how it got down here, but we best be careful.
A bloomin' orc. What the flip's a bloomin' orc?
Kill it!
So I'm pretty much just gonna communicate what I've learned, and that's pretty much gonna be my turn, I think.
Now Barty dies.
No. I step in front of him.
So who has you all have drawn weapons except for maybe Barry. Who all was holding torches?
I'm holding a torch.
It was just Ballin. Oh,
I'm holding
Ballin
a
and
torch.
Barry.
I don't like the dark, so I'm definitely holding.
Okay.
No, because we had one in the front and one in the back.
Okay. So the torch that was at Ballin's feet that was flickering is snuffed out with a gust of wind. And so everything is now backlit from Barry, who is standing as he probably should towards the rear. And so when that light dies, it is a bit difficult for you to track what is happening because it is now dim light here at the front. And Barty, you hear or feel that all of a sudden as you kind of reach out with your axe, the orc has now vanished and his beady eyes are no longer seen. You hear a scurrying sound reverberate through the chamber, and it appears that he has hidden in the scuffle and kerfuffle of this torch going out. And suddenly from the dark,
Great.
No.
An arrow.
a spear sallies forth.
And guts bench. I'm dead.
It's a headshot.
All right.
Dude, that would be horrifying.
Oh.
Oof. That is my
Okay,
armor
so
class, I am
he is
considered
throwing
hit.
it at the person who's closest to him, which,
Maybe it's Ballin.
well, Ballin dropped his axe.
Yeah,
You actually attacked him.
Flub.
That's right, I ran past him. Dang it.
So, Barty, is your AC below 14?
My AC is 15.
Okay. So, that is the number.
Yep. That's a hit.
Okay. So, it does hit.
Oh no.
And we will roll the ranged damage.
I meant to say 16. Clumsy me.
Hey, never mind. I was gonna say, does my wooden helmet count as armor? Can I add just +1 because of the helmet?
Dude, you don't want to
I'm
sacrifice
dead.
your helmet.
I'm dead. I have 5 health. I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
That's 7. You max damaged me.
He's just
That is
unconscious.
7.
Dude,
So
I'm gonna crawl to his dead body and cry. We never found out the mystery about that owl, Barty.
Freaking
out
Ballin,
of
man, it's his fault.
hey, you know,
I'm gonna erase my attack roll now. I had it ready to go.
sorry. So out of the dark, this wicked-looking spear flies. And as it flies, you now see where it originated from. But too late. As Barty, you're looking through the air with your axe kind of swinging as at a tree that's invisible in front of you. This spear comes in at just the right angle, and it flies through your shoulder and pins you to the wall on the side. And you pass out from the pain as it drives you into the wall next to you, the earthen wall.
Temporary hit points.
That's unfriggin' fortunate.
Something inside of Banjo, which he didn't think existed, just
Snaps.
kicks into overdrive.
It's okay. Ballin can save me.
Well, now he has no weapon, so
He runs
he just chucked his only
over
spear.
to
You
where Ballin
think?
dropped his axe, and he picks it
Dude.
up.
That
So,
could not have been worse.
yeah, that was rough.
Banjo cuts his other
Barty in
arm
half.
off. Yeah, cuts him in half. Choo! Ooh,
With a
that's pretty
sling?
cool. That's pretty cool. No, I was gonna say I picked up whatchamacallit's axe, but I don't want to do that because that's
I probably don't
Then
have
he
my
would-
axe with me anymore. That axe is
he's
it's on the
probably
ground if
better.
anybody wants it.
no. I'm not proficient in that, anyways. I'm
I
gonna
never
go with
touched
what I know,
stuff.
but
Never touched
I don't even
the
know.
stuff.
It's still whatchamacallit's turn, right? Ballin.
Ballin gets to.
Yeah,
there's
so
more
Ballin,
orcs.
after seeing this take place and the torch snuffed out at his feet, his fingers finally find the haft of his axe, and he looks in the direction that the spear flew from, and he charges with a dwarven battle cry, and
Bart couldn't hear it.
he swings his axe as hard as he can at this orc.
Yeah, kill him. Mess him up.
Come on, Ballin! Cut him in half, Ballin!
Send him back to the
toes off
Shadowlands.
For your boy Barty!
Back to the Shadow Realm with you, orc.
Frick! Swing and a miss.
Because of the obscured light, which is still kind of backlighting him,
Oh man,
he
got lots of
he's.
excuses for while he's failing, man.
He's trash.
I'm trying to explain the dice roll, okay? The die roll is random. I am not.
Slow. He's bad.
So the orc had positioned itself kind of in between this refuse pile that kind of is heaped up in the middle of the room and a kind of natural pillar on the side. And Ballin, as he swings at it, the orc ducks under his blow, and the axe glances off of the pillar as Ballin, with a grunt, kind of sets himself
didn't
in a
add
battle
the-
stance.
He had Bardic Inspiration. Would that have helped?
That is correct. That
still
may
doesn't
help.
hit.
With a 6, would it help?
It still doesn't help because their AC is like 15 or something.
Oh.
No, it'll hit.
That's actually,
It'll hit.
if it's a 6, it'll hit.
Come on.
Just because,
Come on.
yeah, his AC is actually 16, but we'll say if it's a 6, he'll hit anyway.
Wow. Hey! Look at
You
that.
forced it.
Freaking yeah.
Wow.
You know, sometimes
Backslash, right?
It's a 6.
it's sometimes it works out.
Dude,
That's right. That's right. Get
tight.
inspired
yes.
Um,
by my scholarly words.
So he will, as the axe kind of bounces off of the pillar, he recenters himself and allows the weight of the axe and the inspiring words of Barry drive the axe home into the shoulder of this orc, and he will we'll give him the average, the 5 damage from this axe. Just it sinks into his shoulder, and this creature is looking hurt, and you almost see some panic well up in his eyes that is quickly washed out by the decaying gray pupils that are set into the hollows of his eyes.
Yucky.
It was
Barry.
Banjo next, right?
Yes. So, from where I'm positioned, do I have enough room to kind of maneuver myself around, whatchamacallit, Ballin, so that I don't...
Yeah, there is some room to maneuver. It's not a ton, but there is some room.
Okay, so I'm gonna maneuver around so I can get a good shot, per se,
Okay.
at the monster. And with a quick glance in Barty's direction, like, this one's for you, Barty. I hope this one did.
Crit fail.
Yeah.
Hits Barty in the head. Now he's more than unconscious. He's double
And with a
unconscious.
whiff and a flick of my... Yeah, it's literally a crit fail.
Wow, bro.
Dude, Ballin's dead now.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so that's a fail.
4.
Well,
+4, because he's got plus...
Oh, +4? Okay, we'll say that passes. Okay, we'll say if it was below 10 that you hit Ballin, but the stone that you send ricochets off the pillar just inches from Ballin's head, and he kind of turns around, "Throw your stones at the beastie, not me!" And he hefts his axe.
His eyes were clearly teary.
That's right. Toss a stone for your body.
Oh.
As a bonus action,
do
can
I
I
attack
just
from the
throw
past out?
some pebbles at him? I don't know.
So next up would be Barty. So make your death saving throw. Your first.
20?
Yes. If it's 11 or more, it's a save. If it is 10 or less, and that is a fail.
Do I add anything to it?
Nope. It is just flat. So that is one fail.
One more fail and I'm dead, right?
No, you need 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna give, for my next turn, I'm gonna give Barty mouth to mouth.
Just so you guys know, in case you're not paying attention, Barty over here struggling. I don't know it, but he's struggling.
I was trying to finish off the beast. The beast.
Well, here's the thing. Nettle's not going to fix him.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
Ain't nothing Nettle. It's like
Just
this.
rub some dirt on it. Rub some dirt on
Rub
it.
some bacon on it.
Like this universe's version of Vicks Vapor Rub. It just works on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's bleeding out over here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Are your scholarly words going to save him?
Yeah, for sure.
Barry?
For sure.
Absolutely.
So
Is he
I'm
inspired
gonna
from the past
actually,
and beyond?
Barty, I thought your hit points looked a bit low.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gonna say for your first level, you get the maximum possible.
Isn't that
So
how it's
you
supposed
should
to be?
have, yeah, it is, and I think I forgot that. So
I'm still-
Brother,
you have 8 hit points, and you were hit for 7.
so I have 1.
So we're gonna say you're still up.
Mulligan.
It
saved
did
himself.
pin you to the wall, and for a moment you think you lost consciousness because you wake up, and Ballin is over there attacking it, and Banjo is just crying. He's just weeping profusely. Barty, don't die on me!
Just
And-
stones, not even using the sling.
You kind of wrench your shoulder off of the wall, and it stings. You are on the verge of passing out, but you do get to complete an action here.
So he doesn't have his axe. That was definitely dropped when he thinks he passed out.
We'll say that you have it because I don't want to
Tear the
impose.
spear out of my shoulder and fling it back. Yeah. Because that's kind of cool.
So I will say you can try that, but the thing is, you are not used to discomfort. Okay, hobbits are not
Well,
not
actually, I would
incredibly
argue
used
that
to
Barty is
pain.
probably the most used to discomfort because of his
Probably.
shoes.
Yeah. But you have 1 hit point, recognize.
Nah,
and
man,
you're
you don't
you're
understand.
ripping something out of your shoulder.
Nah, I wear wooden
So-
clogs every day. I'm used to pain. I can rip this spear out of my shoulder.
I'll say
That's the same
I'll
thing,
say
right?
you can make this attempt. It would be a constitution save. But if you critically fail, you kill yourself.
I mean, listen, Barty is impulsive. He is so impulsive. He doesn't have his axe. He's in pain. He's
that's
delirious.
fine. You're already
He just
dead.
just tears it out and just with every last fiber in his being slings it at where he thinks the orc is.
Okay.
He's
So
still
you,
kind of like,
to be clear, a crit fail, you injure yourself further. You have to make we'll say it's not super high, but it's like a 13 DC check in order to actually pull it free. Otherwise, you've still got the spear,
and it just hurts.
and it just hurts. Yeah.
And it's a waste of an action.
Well, it hurts.
Okay.
Crit success!
Nice. Well done.
So you rip this thing out of your shoulder,
And he magically heals.
and maybe your eye twitches, but you don't scream. And I'll say, with a natural 20, I will allow you to still throw this thing.
Should I roll at disadvantage? 'Cause I have
Or
to
attack
use
with
the
it.
spear.
It's up to you.
I'm
You
gonna
don't have
throw
to. I'm not going to impose this advantage.
I'm gonna throw it.
Okay.
I feel like that in this situation, think of it like a blood wrath. Like he's just enraged, and he just slings the thing.
So you have practiced throwing your axe. You have not
different,
practiced
yeah.
throwing the spear.
Mhm.
So this will be a
Throw it like
flat
an
roll. No proficiency bonus.
So just a d6.
No, your attack roll. Your d20.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Oof.
Okay.
E for X.
So you throw this thing and it clatters and skids off of the floor and lands at the feet of the orc, who looks at it like he could maybe pick it up next turn.
Nice.
So what happened here?
Ooh,
Barty-
piece of candy.
Barty, again, delirious, throws the spear without realizing it like an axe. Like he's holding it like an axe and he chucks it like this and just.
He's got the rotation down.
Oh my gosh.
Do I get a bonus action to go pick up my axe?
Just
I'll say you
swings
can
back to
retrieve-
the wall, like, grabs
I'll
it,
say you can
swings.
retrieve your axe for next
Bends down
round.
and picks up his
Yep.
axe.
Nice.
Quick sidebar before we proceed. Do I have a small offhand weapon, like a whittling knife or something, perchance?
I would say you could have a dagger. I don't have a problem with that.
Because I was wondering, just for like close encounters, I don't really have a weapon, so I just wanted to make.
The
Yeah,
string.
that's
Is the
fine
string
with
cool?
me. I'll say you can have your choice of a dagger or a club. I think both are like a D4, and it's either bludgeoning or slashing damage. So
Yeah, I'll have it kind of like as a whittling knife. Maybe it's like very short type, but yeah, definitely would rather a dagger. But
sure.
just wanted to clarify that before we could do it.
Yep, no problem. You could even have a staff if you'd prefer, like a quarterstaff, for all practical purposes. Go full David Shepherd boy.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of
build.
sick.
Yeah.
David
Quick,
Shepherd
look at the
boy
lore
build?
pictures.
Wait a minute, you guys.
Okay, so
Start
that-
becoming very thoughtful and
Right.
talking about music all the time.
So that goes to Barry then. It is now you're up, and you have successly helped at one point, at least. What else can you do?
Great question.
How many uses of the Rhymes of Lore thing do I get? Is it like once per turn kind of thing? I
He
don't
min
remember.
maxing. Oh, he min maxing.
I don't know. I would do that again probably and help like Barty. Give him a D6 for an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
That is Scholar Craft slot. I have to look that up. Give me one moment.
It says I have Scholar Craft slots of 1. It says I have 1 craft slot.
1d4 bludgeoning.
But I'm also gonna do another thing too. Or try to.
Another thing.
I'm gonna bring the light closer so people can see better.
Thank you.
Not that I think it's gonna do anything mechanically, but
So you can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier per long rest.
nice. So I get 2 more uses.
Rock yeah.
Okay, So I'm gonna give Barty bardic inspiration,
Bartik.
Okay.
and I'll say, "All right, Barty, we can do this. Just don't throw the spear like an axe next time."
Lucky for you, I haven't got the spear anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's
You
true.
got it.
Okay.
Don't throw the axe like a spear either.
Yeah, don't do that neither.
Throw the axe like an axe and a spear like a spear.
And
How was I bloody supposed to know?
I'm gonna see if I can. I have a herbalism kit, obviously. I'm gonna. Is there any way that I can try to heal or staunch the bleeding to help Barty not die?
So he is stable at this moment. I don't see anything. I don't see anything on your character sheet about actually
I
healing.
don't have anything.
Um,
I think functionally heals. Mechanically
And heals are rare. So I would say you could use that to stabilize him if he was
not.
failing, but I think you're all right.
Okay. Well,
You do have your staff,
yeah, I do.
so you could use that.
I don't really want to do that.
Throw it.
I
Throw the
will.
staff.
I will approach closer to the orc. So
I will say you could. There's enough rocks lying around. You could pick one up and throw it. Hobbits are known for their stone chucking skills, and that would be basically an improvised weapon.
yeah, I guess that's better than nothing, I suppose. Let me. Yeah, I'll move closer. Because Banjo and Balin are right up there with the orc, right?
Yes,
And the orc is like kind of backed into a corner, sort of.
he was in between the like refuse pile in the middle and the side, so he still is kind of clear behind him,
Okay.
but he's blocked on basically three sides.
Okay. So
Unless
yeah,
he
I'm
was
gonna-
to scramble up this refuse pile, which
I'll-
may or may not do any good.
That's always fun.
Yeah, I'll move up
I love
like
scrambling
right
refuse.
behind Banjo and Balin, and I'll chuck a rock with
Okay.
bringing with me the torch
Okay.
and kind of like
So you lob your torch into the offhand and you pick up a good-looking rock from the ground. I'll say you can go ahead and add your proficiency bonus just because you're a hobbit and they're known for throwing rocks. So you can go ahead and roll that d20 plus 2.
Hey, look at that.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so that is the number you needed. So you do hit it, and we'll say it's just a flat d4.
oh
Max damage. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
the dice like me.
You guys are a lot less useless than Barty.
The virtual dice like me.
Okay, so he is with that rock. It kind of embeds itself into the axe wound in his shoulder, and he now it looks like that left arm is hanging useless at his side. You're not sure if it like finally fractured that shoulder bone or if it like disconnected that joint, but it looks like he can't use that anymore. So he is scrambling and trying to. It looks like an animal in its death throes, and he pulls out the scimitar from his back and he slashes out at Balin, who is now right in front of him, attempting to hit him. So he has all this like mismatch of armor and baggage, and he almost looks like a turtle in that he's got all sorts of things piled on his back, and this scimitar is one of those things.
Dude,
It's a hoarder orc.
bro, that's actually such a cool visual.
The bag lady orc.
There's like a Mortal Kombat character who sounds exactly like, or not exactly like, but very similar.
Sucks to suck, orc.
Super sick. Dude.
So he slashes out, like I said, as a dying animal, kind of just nipping at the heels of whatever is trying to kill it. And he misses with his scimitar, and he grunts as that left arm moves inadvertently, and he winces. and almost whines as he growls at you, brandishing the scimitar, trying to defend itself.
Clown.
That will be back to the top of the round with Balin, who lifts his axe over his head and
freaking hit, man.
tries to bring it down.
Totally useless.
Yeah, he's been worthless, man.
I've done more damage than him so far.
And you've done less damage things.
Lord.
What?
He's done
Oh
less
my
to do
gosh.
damage to anybody.
No. No.
He misses again.
So they're just waving their weapons at each other. This creature that's in front of him, acting like a dying animal, is just kind of darting in. And it looks like it's actually fairly fast and well armored. So this is actually not a super easy creature to attack. And Balin once again slashes at the air in front of it. So that will go to Banjo
Yeah,
next.
who's helping who now? I mean, jeez.
Alright. This is
Banjo's
no
been
longer
useless.
Fun. This is no longer games. Banjo is serious.
Because Barty's back up, right?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about, Barty. Get your head in the game.
Let's go. And I load up, kind of take a little peer at it. And this little stone, it's got a nice little, it's got some sharp edges. Ooh! Load that thing up, set that thing going, and we'll sling another stone towards this creature.
All right, roll your attack.
Die.
Dude, what is this? So with the whatchamacallit, with the dex to do, it's 11, which is not enough.
Okay. So yeah, that stone ricochets off of the refuse pile next to it, and it winces and reacts and almost slinks further back into the shadows in the back corners of this cavern. That will go to Barty.
Come on, Barty. Bring it home.
Barty, having found confidence back, now that his axe is back in hand, carefully, because his shoulder hurts. Was it his offhand that he got hit? We'll
Yeah.
say it was his offhand. Yeah. Picks up his axe with his good hand, and seeing Balin struggle, Balin, I've got you, lad. I've got you, lad. And he strides up towards the orc and takes a hearty swing around, like trying to get around the pillar with his axe. And fails.
Jeez, man. Losers.
It's a hobbit. What do you expect?
It's true. So, once again, you're all kind of pressing in on this one small area.
Oh, that's right. He inspired me.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and roll your
I
d6
keep
and add it.
forgetting, but yeah.
You guys
At least you remember retrospectively.
Aha! 2 more. 14.
Still not quite there. So you are pushed a little further, but it looks like you're all kind of in this triangle. You're trying to push through, and this bottleneck, the orc has positioned itself well between this pillar, this earthen pillar on one side and the refuse pile, and he's kind of able to take you on one at a time and defend itself even in the throes of death that it seems to be in.
Can I take a bonus action and move through his space to behind him, or will he get attack of opportunity? Of course he'll get an attack of opportunity. I only have
So
one
as
spell.
long as basically you can't move through his space, and he's guarding that easily walkable space. I'll say that you can kind of clamber up onto the refuse pile next to him, and it would be difficult terrain, so you could only move like half of your speed. But in order to stay up on it, go ahead and make a let's say a dexterity saving throw to see if you can keep from sliding into him and kind of impaling yourself on his scimitar. Okay, nice. So you do that rather deftly. You almost jump onto the refuse pile and kind of run like a wall runner around to the back side of it. And now anyone attacking from the front will have advantage since you have him kind of in this pincher movement. He's not able to defend so well from two sides. That leads up to Barry.
Do your thing, Barry.
Oh,
You've got this.
all right.
Go, Barry,
I
go.
got one more inspiration. I guess I'll give it to Ballin, because
Couldn't you give it to yourself?
I could, but I don't need it. Oh.
Words have been spoken.
I will go ahead and give my Rhymes of Lore to Ballin.
Okay. How do you inspire Ballin? I should have been asking you this.
Yeah, I am basically just pointing out the obvious,
It's an orc, guys.
the obvious, flaws in the armor and pointing out weak points and giving encouragement and things like that. Basically, I'll try to remember to come up with some good actual rhymes for the future.
No worries. It doesn't even have to rhyme. You can just.
coming up with things on the spot sometimes.
That's all right.
You sound like Mr. Bean.
A poetry so often doesn't actually rhyme. Yeah. So,
You're a dwarf.
inspired.
And it's an orc. Go for it.
So this
Lads, that's
this
an
orc, once again, it is thrashing. It almost looks like it is dragging its feet now, and being beset upon both sides. He's gonna reach out again and try.
Can I throw a rock at it? with
Oh
my
yeah,
action
yep.
action?
Sorry, I forgot. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to
Action.
chuck a
Again,
rock.
just a flat D20
Did you do a
and
haiku
a D4 if you hit.
no,
earlier?
So that'll be a miss.
no hit.
So the rock bounces off of the wall and clatters to the floor, while the orc's eyes continue to widen and turn even deeper gray than already they are.
It's clobbering time.
He will lash out again at Ballin in front of him. He'll lash out again at Ballin in front of him.
Honestly, at this point, I think
Doesn't
Ballin
hold on.
deserves
I'm
to
gonna
take a
sorry. Retro game again. I thought Daniel got attack of advantage. Well, I guess he missed his attack anyways.
Why would I get an
So it was arranged. It
Oh,
would have.
right.
It would have to be melee.
Sorry.
That's all right. I didn't specify that, so I appreciate it. So after the orc once again slashes and kind of now he's stuck, and so Ballin is able to reach out and gets two chances to attack him. And
What,
Mrs.
like
Both.
now that he has hands on that orc is dead.
Well, let's hope. He's been useless thus far.
That thing is dead. Once, at least once.
so Ballin will actually say instead, Ballin is frustrated now, right? So he is going to
Ballin-
rush forward and like push him with his axe and kind of grapple this creature and hold him, since he's slashing with his axe and missing. Now he's going to kind of take it and hold the orc. He's pushing the axe hilt into its throat. Yes,
He has the Rhymes of Lore,
that's right.
so it should make
How
one
long
of
does
those.
Rhymes of Lore last?
It's just you use it immediately.
Oh, that's right, but you just gave it to him.
Yeah. So it's a plus a d6.
Another 6! Ballin,
How is it always a 6?
Yeah, and I get
Perfect. Okay. So he takes, and just like I was describing, he takes his axe, and instead of embedding the blade into him, he pushes the axe hilt into the orc's throat and presses him up against the pillar to the side. You'll not haunt these lands any longer. And the orc kind of dangles with his feet off of the ground and chokes his last breath.
Bart's over there knocking on his helmet.
It sounds very hollow. And finally, the orc collapses as Balin takes a step back, and the dust fills the air. A unsettling silence falling upon this area, which was filled with the clatter of rocks, swords, and spears just a moment ago.
Glorious battle.
I don't like it.
I'm gonna go.
Barty winces and rolls off
shuffle.
the poop pile
Yeah, you're
because
gonna
he
get.
doesn't realize how much he's lost a lot of blood.
You're gonna get sepsis. You're gonna get a
Dude,
major,
don't get that poop in those wounds, man.
major
Yeah,
infection.
no poop wounds, please.
Poop wounds. So I'm gonna go shuffle over and pick up the torch that Balin dropped and rekindle its flame with a fire starter kit in my backpack while things get going. Definitely disappointed myself for missing so many times, but you know.
You easily enough light it. You can even just hold it up to Barry's torch and relight it that way. And as Barry kind of clambers off of the refuse pile, you see a glimmer and a glint. And you see a few precious objects. There's almost a dilapidated sack kind of disintegrates and rolls onto the floor. It seems like it was covered with a layer of filth, but it kind of fades away, and you see actually this rather beautiful looking blade sitting there in this pile. And you're not quite sure what it is, but it looks like a some sort of short knife, even for a hobbit. It looks like it was designed either for a small child or a dwarf or something of that nature, but it seems to have some sort of a gem on its hilt. And you actually find a couple other precious stones in that same area, which Balin scoops up the whole bit of it and shows to you. Well, this is exactly what we're looking for. No wonder we couldn't find anything up taller. It looks like this orc, when he went, they're attracted to shiny things themselves, those orcs. He probably grabbed them and wanted to put it here in his pile. Anybody want to go sifting through a little bit more and see if there's anything else in here?
Be my guest, please. I'm in too much pain. Let me see those. Let me see those.
What does this rock do? I just walk away and start mumbling about how the walls look very wally and the rocks look very rocky.
The gemstones are it's a new thing for Barty to experience. Something that shiny, something that beautiful from something so small. Ironic. And he's enthralled. This is treasure like he's never seen before. So he is just lost in the glow and lost in the shimmer of these stones that Balin is holding towards him.
Well, as you all take in this cavern and are able to fully explore it, we will allow the curtain to fall on this episode after experiencing our first combat of the entire
Barely made it.
campaign. Now session, 11? 12?
Yeah.
Only took us 12 sessions to get here.
We did it.
And it always takes a while in my campaigns, but longer in this one than any other.
We did it.
I love it. This is probably my favorite campaign that I have ever done.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's
so
one of my
good.
favorites as well. I'm really enjoying it quite a bit. I love Tolkien's universe,
Yeah.
and I have really enjoyed playing with you guys. And that's the last session. We've done everything we could do. Just kidding.
The end.
But anyway, thank you for joining us for this session, and we will see you next time when we see what are they going to do with this treasure? Where are they going? Who's going to do what? What's this knife about? I don't know. Will Barty ever die? Maybe. Next time.
Don't forget to catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Oh, we're on all those things? I didn't even know.
Sorry, we
Cool.
we haven't ever plugged our podcast anywhere else.
That's true. We should work on that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
See you later, lads.
Blunders and Flagons is a creation of David Lennox in partnership with Daniel and Drew Lennox and Jerry Hoppmann. Content for this adventure is compiled from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings universe. The system and certain names and details of this adventure were adapted from the Free League's work the Lord of the Rings Roleplaying and Shire Adventures starter set for 5e. Sounds in this episode were sourced in part from freesound.org under the Creative Commons and Attribution license. Atmosphere and other sounds were derived from Monument Studios, Fantasy Music, and Cinematic Atmosphere collections under the Creative Commons license. Other music was created using Suno Premium. Detailed attribution found in the description. Thank you for listening to this episode, and remember, even the smallest person can change the course of the future. We were waving for the audio podcast listeners.